Hello and welcome to my live. I'm bored, or as I said, I'm having pangs of ennui. It's a Bridgerton word for bored. So let me get into my own live and figure out what's going on. There we go. Okay, let's see if I can get to show all messages. Clues. Okay. Says three people are watching. I know I'm one of the three. So, yeah. So I hope everyone's having a wonderful Saturday night. And like I just said a little bit a minute ago, that I'm having pangs of ennui. Ennui is a Bridgerton word for boredom, feeling bored. And I'm so far behind on my 2024 challenge list. So, yeah. I'm right here at week 15, and we're supposed to be here at week 22. So, yeah. Rebecca, how's my crabby babe? As you can see, I need to catch up. I don't know if it's backwards or what. I need to catch up on these. So I thought I would hop on and do that and see if anybody else was having pangs of ennui. And there was nothing else to watch because I looked around. I actually watched people make cards today, and I'm not a card maker, never have been. I know Els and some other people are. Well, I'm glad that you're working in your journal, Rebecca. Mine's still sitting here, the one I made New Year's, and I haven't worked in it since. So, yeah, I'm not really that good. And I've got some music on the background. I don't know if y'all can hear it. I put on Sirius XM Saturday Night Safety Dance, so I'm probably going to be breaking some rules of some sort. But hey, I bend a lot of rules. That's just me. So, yep. Swigging on my Coke. Yeah. So, how has everyone been? I'm doing pretty good. My assignment or my role at the site I was at ended yesterday. I'd been there 8 months. They had some downsizing, and it wasn't, you know, it was gotten slow. It just wasn't working for two, there wasn't enough work for two people. So I am moving on to another assignment, which just doesn't bother me a bit, you know. I'm okay with it. I'm going to our corporate office and I'm going to be working in the document service center. also known as the LDSC. So yeah. So um, if there's not much else in this world going on in my life, I'm a very, very boring person. All I do is go to work and come home. Go to work, come home. Go to work, come home. Lather, rinse, repeat. So yeah. Well, I hope everyone else is doing okay. I bought these from L's, and I believe they're the right size. It doesn't say. They're 2.5 by 2.5, and I don't. It's 3.5 by 2.5. Yeah, I don't envy anybody to get out there and look for a job. The UPS guy has me hooked up with someone at the UPS, one of the UPS stores, but I haven't figured out a way to get over there since I don't have a car, and it's kind of not convenient by public transportation. So yeah, yeah, but yeah, it's the job market. There's places out there to work. Honestly, you know, it's just finding the right one that fits us these days. You know, because I thought it was kind of sweet the UPS guy because he doesn't want he likes seeing me every day. Monday through Friday. You know, I thought it was sweet of him to look for a job for me, which is kind of funny. Not many people will stick their neck out for you. So I did update my resume and I emailed it to that place. I don't expect to hear anything, but you never know. Even if it was just a weekend part time role, I would be happy with it because I could, you know, work all day Saturdays and Sundays. I don't know if UPS stores are open on Sundays, but I could do it and work two jobs because I don't really do much with my weekends other than binge watch TV. So, yeah. So, yeah. Like I said, I'm a boring person. I just go to work, come home. Occasionally, I go to the hospital, to the pharmacy, and pick up my drugs, ones that keep me from, wearing ju- orange jumpsuits. And I go to Target and buy some groceries. So yeah, I'm just kind of boring that way. I don't like being a boring person, but sometimes it's just the way it is. But I'm kind of looking forward to this new role. Um, they do a lot of um, print jobs, and envelope and letter stuffing in like large quantities. So it'll keep me busy. Plus, I'll get to play with the big, big, big toys. So, yeah. Well, honestly, I don't think I really can do the two jobs, but I always have more month than money. So yeah, I mean, I'm not struggling, but you know, there's a couple days there that it's kind of dicey, after all the bills are paid and groceries are bought. There's not much left in the bank, so I would I would like to have a little bit of a nest egg, some mad money even. I don't even have enough to get mad, not even crazy or even ticked off. So yeah. So, a little part-time job wouldn't be so bad. I could do it. I mean, if I just work on Saturdays and Sundays, I'd have the rest of the week in the afternoons to, afternoons and evenings to rest up. So, yeah. But, my job's not overly physical. I don't think this new role's going to be overly physical either. So, I got these at Target. They're like kitty scissors and they're just not really sharp for cussy cutting. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. It would be fabulous to have some savings. All my money's all tied up in, retirement. So mm, Kapowie, I guess would be the best one. Um, but yeah, I don't really have a safety net. I know like a lot of people get on here and talk about their finances, and I'm not really one that gets on and does that kind of thing. But I'm not broke, but I'm not rich either. So yeah. Trying to think of some topics that I've saw in the news this week. Um, I know I said one in Amy's live the other night. Um, about the lady in Lost Wages who found a tampon in her lover's trash that didn't belong to her, and she ran him over and killed him. Yeah, I thought that one was pretty funny. Um, let's see what else was going on. Oh, and Memorial Day, a little town down close to the Mexico border out there by Alpine and Marfa. It's called Marathon. They got pea-sized hail, 2.5 feet of it, and the temperatures went from 105 to 50. Yeah. So yeah, and they actually had to get out a old snow plow and plow the roads because it wasn't passable. Isn't that funny? And to kind of explain where it is, Hey, Michelle, how are you? It's wonderful to see you. My good friend who makes the beautiful jewelry. Oh, I think you know Rebecca. I think you know everybody in here. Um, I was telling her about, all that hail down there. They're 325 miles from Midland, and that's like northwest. Yeah, it's northwest. So yeah, yeah. Well, I always tell the truth, you know that. I say what I mean and I mean what I say. So yeah. But yeah, I just thought that was really interesting that they had to get out the a snowplow at the end of May to get rid of the hail, and that it dropped 50 something degrees. They were talking about several areas that it had did it. There was one was in Denver, but it was like in a January or February. It went from like the 40s to like 24. Yeah, yeah. So I thought that was really interesting. They said this temperature drop was like the in the top 20 in the history. I thought that of record keeping. So I thought that was pretty interesting because the one in Denver, they said it went from like 40 degrees to like negative 24. Yeah, that was the most current one. And they had another one that it was not as bad. It was like in Austin, Texas, I believe. It went from like 50 to like 24, and that was in 2022. So, yeah. Yeah, I think it's getting warm everywhere. We have been in the 80s here. That's the highest we've been. Like I think the high today was in the 70s, and the low's gonna be 59 tonight. So we're not, having the seesaw effect like everybody else, you know. And I was reading about in New Delhi over in India, they're having like triple digit bad weather over there in the heat. They're like in the 120s. Yeah, they said there was one town, I don't even know how to pronounce it. It started with the K and ended in an A. And they got up to 123. And they said people are dying and they're going to have to they're watching everybody's use of water, you know, so it's really affected the whole world, you know. So it's not just us that is getting the crazy weather, it's affecting the whole globe. And they were showing people, because over in India, a lot of people don't own cars. They own, little motorcycles or scooters or stuff. They showed them with window unit, going and buying window units and carrying them, having the person sitting on the back of the scooter holding a box with a window unit in it. I'm like, wow, that's just crazy. But yeah, I had, we used to ship stuff to India at my old site, and a lot of places will not, you know, like Amazon won't ship to people's houses. So they have to go, and pick it up somewhere, you know, like FedEx and UPS will not go to a lot of places in it, residential places in India. I don't know why. I don't know if it's crime or if it's just not feasible or what, but you know, we had to argue with the lady that was running this the place in India that with the last site. She had to go pick it up from, you know, FedEx there because they will not deliver it, and she's like really mad. She was really mad at us, like, it was our fault. We had no clue, you know. And I told her she needs to hurry up and get over there and pick it up, or they're going to send it back to me. That'd be a waste of $156 because that's what it costs to ship the stuff over there. And I go, and I'll have to tell the people that shipped it to tell their bosses that, you wouldn't go pick it up and it got shipped back and we had to pay $156 for it to come back. So we're out $300 because you won't get off your butt and go pick it up. She did not like that email, you know. But I didn't get in trouble. It wasn't I was just doing my part of the job. So yeah. I don't know if I can ink this one. So, but we'll find out in a second. But no, that's pretty much all. I can't remember if there's anything else that was really interesting in the news. Um, Paris Hilton's got 2 kids now, and people are saying she's a bad mom because she doesn't know how to seatbelt them in. And the oldest one's a little boy, and he had his his little life preserver on backwards. You know, I think people have way too much time on their hands. You know, to be yelling at people about how you raise your children. I never had any children, so I don't tell people how to raise their kids. You know, but that's just me. So this week is that I'm working on is way back in week 15. It was superhero or steampunk. I thought superhero would be easier to do, and I found the minions as superheroes, so I had to grab them. So yeah, because I'm weird that way. I'm trying to think of anything else that I have read this week. It's been kind of a non-committal week, on the internet. There hadn't been a lot. going on. Some verdicts, but I mean, I'm not big on that kind of stuff. Okay. Golden Grape. It's some tattered angels. I don't know if that would be too far off. I have glitter sunshine. That would be Jello. That would probably be better with the minions. To make a background. See if I can spray this without getting it all over me and the whole world. So yeah. There we go. Not really sunshiny, but hey. Did everybody have a good 3-day weekend if they got it? I really didn't do anything. I was just here. I didn't even. Usually, I'll sneak to the store and buy some stuff for whatever holiday, like hot dog stuff or something like that. I didn't even do that. Well, heck yeah. If you can make double time, it's Mari. Hi, Mari. I'm trying to catch up on my um 2024 challenge list. Oh, how's Rogeria? I miss him and you on lives. I miss his jamming. I know y'all are just so busy. Yeah. So yeah. I figured you're probably bored too, Mari. So yeah. And ennui is the Bridgerton term for being bored. It's boredom. Pangs of ennui. So yeah. I haven't watched the new season yet. I didn't really finish all of last season, so I have to catch up. And I have a cat walking on me. If you can see her, she just took off. Miss Noodles. So yeah. Yeah, that was Miss Noodles, or the one I refer to lovingly as Murder Mittens, because she is Murder Mittens. Luckily, most of my boo boos she gave me have healed. So yeah. Yeah. Well, aren't we all? I'm so glad that he's doing good. Tell him I said hello and I miss his playing. Uh, I got my distress sink and my dauber. Yeah. So yeah, there we go. I'm getting to that age where I wrap everything in tissues. Yeah. We all, I think every woman gets to that age. We wrap everything in tissues or what's the other thing? paper towels, napkins. Yeah. So yeah. Wonderful. I'm glad that he says hello. I just miss you. I miss you too. I haven't seen you anywhere, but then I haven't been going too many places. I just come over to Elle's and Amy's mostly. I haven't really ventured out too far. Occasionally I'll go over and check on Janie and Stacy of the Pink Poodle if they're on live and I'm awake to see how JD's, or as we call her, the grinning ferret, is doing. So yeah, but and then I'll get on when Rosemary's on. That's about it. I don't go too far. Ooh, I'll have to look. I have to look. I'm not a craft along person. It just has to hit me just right to get on and craft. Like kind of like this is. As I got addicted to this. Okay, well I will look for you on last Tuesday of the month. I don't have a calendar handy. I do, but I don't. I would cause a craft a lunch if I pulled the one that I have. I know where it is. So, yeah. I can hear one of my neighbors has turned the radio up because I guess I'm making enough noise it's annoying them. So that's why I had the TV on. Thought I'd give them some ambient background noise. Yeah. Oh yeah, that'll be fun. And I'm just not into stitching right now. Okay, June 25th. That's 3 days after my birthday, so I will have to get on. So my birthday's on a Friday, I think, this year. Because my birthday's the 22nd. Els and I we're moon children. So yeah. I'll come chat, keep y'all and watch everybody have fun. Yeah, Mari should enjoy going over there. Mari's a great crafter. Oh, that's cool. I don't have too many birthday twins out there. There's one person in the company I work for. His birthday's the same as mine, and I always send him a happy birthday email. Um, see what that looks like. For Golden Sunshine, this kind of looks pink, but it works with it. I rarely ever do lives, you know. I might hop on with someone occasionally, but you know, I just was bored. There was nobody else on, and I'm like, I can't keep letting us get further and further out. So I thought I'd hop on and be boring and talk to y'all. But yeah. And Michelle does some gorgeous has gemstone jewelry, and she's kind of like me. She knows her gemstones and what's good for what gemstones good for what you know. So that's always great because there's a lot of people out there that don't know that what gemstones are good for. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I'll have to look for it. I love check glass beads. I used to buy them when I'd go to West when I lived down in Texas. There was a good shop there. There was a good bead shop there. And there was another bead shop down in Salado, which is down north of Austin. I used to, if we were in the neighborhood and I was close enough, I would stop and grab some beads there. And Stephenville used to have a really good bead shop, but they went out of business even before I left Texas, and that was in 2014. So yeah, you know, that's cool. Yeah. I haven't really done much jewelry since I've moved. I haven't done any jewelry since I moved in here. I did make like a keychain for my keys when I went to Pride last year because I needed something long to keep them on, but I just used it the one time, and all I used was some paracord and a binding. I didn't do anything really cool. I was watching somebody last night, and oh, Teresa, the one, the Tereasa. She was making bracelets that you could put your keys on. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, this is week 15. I'm up now. Yeah. And hers were really cute. She was using, it looked like 8 or 10 millimeter beads on a on an elastic cord, and she was using, it looked like 12 to 16 of them, and it had like a lobster claw and a split ring. It was really cute, and she was making a little, repeating pattern with 4 different colors of beads. So it was a really nice. They turned out really nice, and it only took her probably like 5 minutes to make one at a time, and she was going to a craft fair with them. So she's getting out there, you know, on a side hustle. I never really have sold anything. I just usually made things, and if somebody liked it, I would take it off and hand it to them. Yeah, I mean, if somebody saw my necklace and liked it, I would just take it off and hand it to them and say I have the stuff to make another one. Usually I had enough to make like two or three. I never could get enough beads, gemstones and beads to make more than one or two. So I didn't. So I couldn't like mass produce. Well, yeah, I mean that's what life's about. You pay it forward. Because I mean, the fact that they see that gemstone means it's something there's something with the meaning of that what that gemstone will fix in their life. You know what I mean? Because I wear a lot of hematite, amethyst, obsidian, Dalmatian jasper. I'm trying to think what else. Red coral, you know, turquoise. I wear a lot of that kind of jewelry. And, most of that's for, anxiety and negativity and that kind of stuff. So obviously, if they see it and they have this probably the same thing I have, so that's why I just hand it to them. Yep. I had a friend down in Texas. She had what he was a geologist, but she called him a glorified rock hound. And he would go to that Tucson beach show and he would sell her things just a little bit above cost. And he got her some they were like little carved animals out of gemstones. And she had that gemstone Bible, and we would look them up and tell them, what it was good for, and I would tell people to look for, this and that, and she would do the wire wrapping right there and put it on a chain form and sell it to them for $15. She was, making a killing at those little craft fairs. So yeah, so yeah, I would just sit there and yak yak yak. I do actually have some sugarnight. Yeah, and sugarnight's good for a lot of that. Yeah, and it's also really good, um, like for your cell phone. If you put it on the back of your cell phone, it'll take out some of the um, what do they call it? Um, Electromagnetism. That bother people. Yeah. So yeah, it does that as well. I know I had the last piece I had that I knew where it was um I gave to one of the people there at this last place I was at because she was having some issues with her chi, so I gave it to her and I was telling her about it. Yeah. EMF protection. That's it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I was telling her about all that, but she was living taller than I was. I'm on the third floor, and I told her her grounding and her chi was just probably a little bit off because she was having a lot of um, issues standing and moving around and stuff. So, I, and she just seemed really excited, and it was just strung on some that braided cord, the black braided cord. I told her she could just put it on and slide it on underneath when she was not feeling so good. she had a lot of issues with her. She had celiac disease and a couple other things. So yeah, yep. Yeah, and she was always on her laptop and her phone, and she had like a Apple Watch. So I figured she needed it more than I did, so I gave it to her. She was super happy with it. But I mean, the you can pick up the sugar night for next to nothing on yeah, they really, really do, Michelle. They do mess with those frequencies do mess with your health. Um, but you can pick up sugar night really cheap on eBay, you know. But yeah. Maybe one day I'll get on live, make some jewelry, but I just haven't had that feeling to want to do it, you know. You know. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I was 8 behind, so there's 3, there's 4, there's 5, there's 6, there's 7. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can do that, and if you look on Amazon, and I'm trying to think where else you can look, eBay, they have um those tempered glass um water bottles, you know, the tall cylinder ones that have like the lid on them, but they're clear, and then right at the bottom you could screw it off and you can put your gemstones in there, and they call it I forgot what they were calling them. They were like before the Stanley craze, everybody was doing it. It was kind of like what it's kind of like that um Dan Aykroyd skull vodka that he uses hematite to filter it. Not hematite, excuse me, Herkimer diamonds. They filter it 3 times with them. Oh yeah, yeah, I believe it. And these were already polished and cut. I had beads. I have beads somewhere. Yeah, I love Herkimers too. Yeah, you know. I would love to go up there, and that's one of my bucket lists is to go to all the states that have gemstones and have like where you can go get them. No, Michelle, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that would help with restful sleep. I know they have some that are really good for it, but off the top of my head, I can't tell you. You know, Michelle probably can. I know amethyst is really good for calming, but I wouldn't use it. I probably wouldn't use it for sleep. Rose quartz, maybe. Oh, you agree? Amethyst, okay. Amethyst or rose quartz, yeah. And Mary, Sorry, you can find amethyst pretty much anywhere and everywhere, you know. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can get a little stretchy bracelet, at Walmart with that has like amethyst chips, or you can get it at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. They should have the little stretchy bracelets. Yeah, look at me. I'm talking with my hands again. So yeah. Or any blackstone, yeah. Um, obsidian is a black volcanic glass. Um, hematite, onyx. Oh yeah, Michelle sells them. Yeah, sorry. I'm kind of the last couple weeks I've been kind of brain foggy. I got to get back to the doctor and get some labs done and see what's going on with everything. So yeah, yeah. So yeah. Okay. Let's see what I picked out in abstracts. I thought this one kind of looked like a clip. Do some fussy cutting on that one. So yeah. Yep, yep. Sorry, Michelle. I'm not really thinking. Um, but yeah, if you wanna, I don't know how to make anybody mod. I'm not really that smart, but you can probably she probably has like in her community tab or about her, she probably has her email and you can reach out to her. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not very bright today. Sorry guys. I think I'm gonna fussy cut this one. Okay, good, good, good. Yeah. She can help you with that. And she could probably do something custom with, amethyst and one of the, onyx or obsidians or whatever. Okay, sorry. I just kind of zoned out there for a second. Oh, that's cool. Kits, that would be really good. Yeah. That's something we should probably look into. Make some, have some jury making parties. Even if it's not even on the live, just we could do it on Facebook or somewhere like that. Everybody could just get on and make some stuff, you know, whatever floats your boat type thing. I'm not one of those people who math very well. I just kind of craft by the seat of my pants. So, yeah. Yeah. So, and hello to everybody that's in here that's lurking if they are. Oh, yeah. Um, exactly. You could do that. I actually have beading needles, and I have that little spinning one for the seed beads. Like the little tiny Tehos and all those. Yeah. That have, some are straight, some that have curves and stuff. Yeah. I've made a few. My brain is just fried right now. Um, I've made a few. That's a great way to do it. I'm not. I don't. I've never really messed with the slider beads that much. I have some spacers and stuff like that. Okay, I don't like anything in that. Yeah. Yep, 26 gauge is a really fine wire. If I got anything that would go good with that. Trying to pull the oranges out of it, the orangey yellows. See if I find one that looks good enough. Good enough. Oops, don't roll away. I think that one will do it. I think that's the best color. That one's got a little too much yellow. But yeah, when there's a will, there's a way on all that stuff. Anybody have any good news, bad news, wonderful news? I don't really have anything. Today is the 1st of June. And I hope y'all did the good luck charm when y'all woke up and said white rabbit 3 times in a row to bring good luck for you for the month. So yeah. So yeah. White rabbit, white rabbit, white rabbit. Um the 1st of June was the my parents' anniversary date. They got married back in 1951, in a place in Oklahoma called Ada, Oklahoma. It was in Carter County. Basically, they eloped. They ran across the state lines. My mom was 18, almost 19 when she married my dad. Yeah. He was her, they had dated. She dated one of his friends and got engaged, and they didn't get married. He was putting pressure on her for, you know, things married people do before the marriage. And she got mad at him and they didn't get married. So, yeah. But I would have been more Scottish than I am if we did, because I would have came out of Campbell, because that was the guy's last name, Bobby Campbell. Yep. Yeah. 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 You know me. I had that trivial mind. I know all the weird things in the world. Yeah. So yeah. And my oldest brother was born in 1953. So they were married almost 2 years. And my sister was born in 57. And my other brother was born in 59. And it I was born in 69. So there was like 10 years there between me and the youngest brother. Or as I always call him, the brother closest in age. So yeah. Yeah, I know a little bit about music trivia, but I'm not like, some people. Some people are just like phenomenal at it. My brother, he knew everything. I mean, he was like a walking liner notes. He could tell you, you could tell he would tell you, people like he would say like, oh, you would say like Pete Best, and he would go on about, when he was with the Beatles and blah 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 blah, you know. And he would go on about things like that. I know a little here and a little there of certain years and certain genres, but I'm not anything like my brother was, you know. Wonderful. Like we were talking earlier, I don't know if you were in there, Amari. Um, I'm gonna be 55 on the 22nd. So yeah. And Elsa's birthday is this month as well. I can't remember the date off the top of my head, but it's soon. I know that. It's well before mine, so we'll have to ring her natal day wishes and stuff in on one of her lives. So yeah, yeah, so, yeah, yeah. So we're all about the same age, which is a great thing. Makes us all the same kind of person in the crafting tribe. And I had posted on my Facebook. I found it. You know how they go look. You should look at this. From your Google photo. And they had a whole bunch of pictures of my late husband. So I posted them on there and said he would have been 69 the 19th of this month. So yeah, told him the world's a duller place without him in it, which is true. He was one of those people that you either loved him or you hated him. There was no in betweens with him. So yeah, and he didn't care. Hi, Kuya Rolly TV Mix. How are you? Thanks for stopping in. Yeah. Um, tell us, everybody in here pretty much knows everybody. Rebecca's in here, Michelle and Mary and Mari. We all pretty much know everybody, each other, because we run in the same crafting tribe. So you can reach out if you want to tell us about you, where you are, what you do. I'm up here in what I like to call Minnesota. I live in Minneapolis. So yeah, the land of Prince. And this month is going to be, I think they said 45 years since Purple Rain came out. And they're going to be doing some really cool things. Everybody's going to go see him. Yeah. 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 Yeah, it's been, yeah, 2018, 2019. Yeah. We all met up over at Bemis, Els is, you know, on the crafting tribe. So yeah. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, Els has this thing, they're like artist trading cards. And she has a challenge list. And that's what I'm doing is I'm catching up on it. And I'm on week 16. And I'm like 7 behind. We're at week 22 because each week is listed. They give you a suggestion, and this one's my abstract. I got to figure out what I'm going to put on there. So yeah, I just kind of inked it, and I found this on the internet. Here, I'll show you. It kind of looked like Alphonse Mucha or Gustav Klimt. So I just thought it was pretty. I love that kind of art. Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm not really a person that's on all the time. Occasionally I'll get on with friends if if we're all bored and just hang out and craft and chat. Um, but nobody was on live. There was nothing to watch. Usually Stacy and them are on, the pink poodle, but they weren't on tonight. So I think she was going somewhere. I think Pride was starting this week up there where she lives. Our pride is at the end of the month. So yeah. Minnesota is cold. Yeah. And I'm sorry, I don't know how to do that. I'm not that bright, honestly. Honestly, I don't know how to do it. I don't know. See if I don't know if I can do it from this one. Let's see. There we go. See if that'll work. There we go. Type now and see if that'll help. And Michelle, did you want to plug your stuff in? I made you a moderator as well. There you go. Okay, I gave everybody some blue panties, as we call them. So, yeah, you can plug in you can plug in your stuff, Michelle, if you want. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm Carla. And where it says feeling ennui, ennui's a Bridgerton word for bored. So, yeah. What am I doing? What am I doing? There you go. There's how you can find Michelle's YouTube. And it's really not that cold up here. I mean, yeah, it does get into the negative. I mean, the I moved up here at the first week in November, and when I moved up, it was 35 degrees. The second week in November, it was down to 9, and I'd never had single digit weather. And my snot froze, and my eyelashes froze from my eyes watering from the cold. So, yeah, let's just put it this way. It was not pretty. It took me a couple of years to build up my wardrobe well enough that I could layer and stay warm. Oh, yeah. So, I don't think those would look good like that. I don't think those would look good. I'm digging around trying to figure out what I'm going to put on this to be a focal point. All right. Well, thank you for throwing yourself in there, and we'll all sub to your channel. There we go. Let me back out. Okay, I'm back in. There we go. Okay, here we go. I sub to you. Maybe I can put a flower on there. I don't really see anything else that I have just right here. Oh yeah, yeah. The humidity up here is not good. And yes, I call it bad things. I call it humidity because that's all it is, really. I wouldn't wish that humidity on anyone. Yeah. Okay. Nah, that's not gonna work. Okay. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of people up here that, you know, they love the cold. They love all that, you know. Yeah, definitely. You can breathe in Arizona a whole lot easier than you can in other places. I'm digging, looking for something to stick on here as a focal point. I don't know if I want to go creepy or if I want to go pop. Or if I want to be snarky. Oh yeah. Um, in Texas, I was allergic to everything on allergy wise. It was horrific. And I did 2 years of allergy shots down there every week, going and getting a shot. And when I moved up here, I was okay. But I've been up here long enough now since I moved up here. Now my allergies are coming back. So yeah. And right now, um, the cottonwoods are horrifically horrible. And oops. Um, um, the Minnesota Timberwolves were in the playoffs with the Dallas Mavericks, and Charles Barkley was with ESPN, and he was here several times in the past 2 weeks. And the cottonwoods are like, you know, the little seeds are like flowing everywhere, and he thought it was snow. Yeah, and everybody was joking and said, "Yeah, that kind of snow would give you allergies, make your allergies bad." So yeah, he got trolled on Twitter. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, alrighty. I don't know which way I want to go. Yeah, pretty much every grass, every tree, everything down there in Texas bothered me. The one thing that when I go down to where Mari lives, they had a lot of Indian hawthorn. It's a flowering, bush. I mean, it was planted everywhere. I mean, it's gorgeous, don't get me wrong, and it smells good, but I mean, I was crying. I lost my voice. It was horrible. It was, at least with cottonwood, I just sneezed 6 to 10 times. Yeah. Okay. I guess I could stick that on there since we were talking about gemstones. It's not that creepy. So yeah. So yeah. But the cottonwood is just horrific here right now. I don't think we get much mountain cedar. Um, trying to think what else up here that bugs me. Ragweed, that's the worst. So yeah. There we go. Since we were talking about gemstones, I thought that would be a good one to stick on there. The crescent moon and whatever pointillated gemstone that one's supposed to be. It's a PVA sticker, so it's going to be a little glossy, and sorry about that if it's a little glary. This is week 16. The one thing about, I always tease up here, it's either Minnesota or muddy soda, and right now we're kind of muddy soda. Because it's like raining every other day. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I haven't been on in a long, long, long time. I can't remember the last time I was live, honestly, by myself. So yeah, we're all, you know, part of the same crafty tribe. We all know the same people. We all kind of run in the same circles, and they're kind of concentric. Some circles are really close, but the majority of them, they're kind of concentric. That in the same people go to the same lives, and kind of hang out. So yeah. Well, thank you, Rebecca, for coming in. I'm always happy to see you. Much love, healing light, and blessings. And I hope you have a great week ahead. If you have time tomorrow afternoon when Else is on, come into the Not So Friendly Family Feud or Family Friendly Feud. We've been having fun with it. I think she's almost out of cards. So yeah. So yeah. I'm usually on with Els and Amy when they're on. They're like, "Do you want to go live?" And I'm like, "Sure." I'm not doing anything. I mean, the only thing I've done today was just eaten and binge watched a bunch of um that show Evil. I've been watching it on Paramount Plus. So yeah. So yep. So yeah, that's pretty much everybody around here kind of runs in the same concentric circles, you know. But everybody that's in those concentric circles, we're kind of like a little a little family or tribe. We all know what's going on with each other, and we care about each other. We keep everybody in our thoughts and blessings. And, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, they do overlap here and there, you know. And everybody's super supported. I mean, if there's somebody out there that, who's new or newer and they want to try something and they're not quite sure, we pack up the crazy bus and we all head over there, and we do our best to help them with whatever it is, you know. So yeah. Oh, cool. You're in the Philippines. That's wonderful. It's on one of my bucket list places to go. Yeah. I want to go there and to Dad was stationed. My late father-in-law was stationed there um, during the Korean War. My mind just went blank. Uh, Kadena, I believe it's not in the Philippines. It's the Air Force Base on another island. I always wanted to go there because he talked about it. It was kind of like like the TV show MASH. I bet that's beautiful. I bet it was. It, we're not really built to fly. I guess that's why they didn't give us wings. I've never flown that far. The furthest I've ever flown was to California, you know. I'm thinking I could probably make it from here to Hawaii, and then I'd have to have, some layover time and then fly out. I don't think I could do a nonstop like most people do. One of those, 6 or 8 hour flights. Yeah, I bet so. It's not easy on our circulatory system, you know. I can't even eat soft pretzels because the the salt they put on them, they blow me up. I look horrible. So yeah. Yeah, I bet it was. And that's not that far from, that's just a 4 or 5 hour flight. Yeah, you know. So yeah. Yeah. And one of my friends, Father Mike, he's from my paranormal days. He his one of his half brothers lives there in North Carolina. So yeah, I bet it was gorgeous there. They have some beautiful beaches there and in South Carolina. I think that's where they filmed um that that movie, The Notebook. I think it was in North Carolina. So yeah, that's me. I love beaches. If I'm gonna go somewhere and risk my life, I want to do it where there's, sand and water, you know. Yep, the Outer Banks. Yep, yep. I might trim the bottom of this off a little, make them a little bit shorter, so I don't lose most of this one. I can trim a little off the top as well. Yeah, here we go. And North Carolina is one of the, founding, states. They, so it's really interesting when we look back on some of that stuff. There we go. There we go. I bet so. Oops. This was week 17. And it's dogs. So yeah, I'll put it where y'all can see it. I had to be a little tongue in cheek on that one. Snoop Dogg the Bounty Hunter. And this was a rap group in the 90s called the Dog Pound. So yeah. So had to be silly on that one. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think of something else. I don't really have much in the way of things to chat about. Yeah, I bet so. We were all a whole lot younger back then. And it wasn't so hard on our circulatory systems, with inflammations and that kind of stuff. I'm trying to think. I hate when my mind's kind of blank. I'm not like elves. I don't have the little, things that make you go, books. So, and it's ribbon and lace this week. I'm on week 18. So, and I have tons of ribbons and lace. I kind of like this one. It's beigey. Make a nice stripe. Okay. And let's look at my ribbons and see what I have in my ribbons. Sorry about that. That'll go good with that. I know, it's been a long time since we've been hanging out. At least eight or 9 months that I can think of. Because I really haven't done all that much. All I do is, like I was saying earlier, all I do is go to work, come home, go to work, come home. You know, let's rinse, lather, and repeat. Yeah, life has got us all really busy. So yeah, I understand. By the time I get home, because I was working 8:30 to 5:30. By the time I would get home, it was well after 6. All I would do was eat something and kind of get things ready for the next day. And then, it's nearly 9, 10 o'clock, time to go to bed. Yeah. And this, and the role played out. My last day was Friday. I know it's going by so fast. And I'm going to a different place, and it's going to be 8 to 4:30. I'll still be getting home about 6, because it's a little bit further out on public transportation. But you know, I think I'll be a whole lot. It'll be a whole lot easier on me. So yeah. Okay. Lace, ribbon, ribbon. So yeah. Um. The Walker Museum here right now, they have a art installation with Keith Haring, if y'all know who he is. Yeah. Well, actually, the last 3 years was so slow. 2020 was like 1,000 years old. So yeah. Let me see if I can pull up some Keith Haring. So if y'all aren't really familiar with him just by name. And it's just starting this weekend. I didn't want to go on the first weekend because they're doing stuff for everybody. He's kind of a street artist. You've probably seen stuff for him. I'll hold this here, see if y'all can see it. Yeah, this is his art installation going on this month. I think it goes on mostly the whole summer. Yep, yep. I agree with you. He said, yeah, they call it artist for everyone kind of artist, but he's that one that it's like street art. It's kind of weird looking. You know, you can looking up his first name is Keith, Keith, and Herring, Haring. It's not my taste. It's um. I wonder why you're having that problem, Mary. What, Mari? Do you- I don't know if I have a stamp positioner, or if I do, I just don't know where it is. I'm still 50% packed, and I've been here a year. Yeah. Oh yeah, I have on First Wave from um one of the stations on Sirius XM. I like to listen on Saturday nights when I'm not binging something, because they have that show, what they call it, Saturday Night Safety Dance, and they just play like all the dance tracks of the new wave, you know. So I just turn it on. Yeah, I actually listen to some of the newer stuff as well. Sometimes I'll put on like the yacht rock and listen to it, or listen to 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and whatever, hip hop, country, whatever. But tonight I just wanted to listen to the safety dance. Um, it's a DJ. They call him DJ Bueller. Like from Ferris Bueller. Yeah, I've been listening to. I think we got Sirius XM when it first came out in like 1999, 2000. You know, way back then it was just XM. It wasn't Sirius. Yeah. Um, we had, that was back where you only could have it in your vehicle. No, I'm not gonna. I don't dance. I live on the third floor in an apartment. I'm thinking the people beneath me would kill me. Yeah, it's bad enough the cats drive them to drink because they jump up and down and knock stuff off. But we have hardwoods here, so it sounds like waiting for the other shoe to drop. I feel sorry for whoever lives beneath me. I don't know them, but play um they play classical rock, classic, and then they play country. And it's loud enough that I can actually hear it. And sometimes they live it on 24 hours a day. And I think everybody can hear it. Yeah. Safety dance song, yeah. Men Without Hats was the name of that group. Oh, Golden Morning. That would look good on that. I don't feel like messing with paint, so I'm just using my Tattered Angels. I got it on me and everywhere. Yeah. Um, I don't know if you're really big into um new wave, but Richard Blade, he was really big in the 80s, and he's like one of the DJs that's on First Wave. He wrote a book, and it's called he called it after one of the Depeche Mode songs, "World Through My Eyes." Have you read it? Oh, if you haven't, you need to find it and read it. I follow him on Facebook. I don't really do a lot on Instagram. Yeah. Oh yes, I love Depeche Mode. Yeah. First time I heard them, I was in eighth grade, so that would have made it 82, 83. And Everything Counts. Yep, The Cure. Yep, yep, yep. Everything Counts in small amounts. Yeah. So yeah, that was the first song that I heard from them, and that kind of started it all off. And Richard Blade's like huge into Depeche Mode. He really is. He knows them all. They're all good friends. He's always talking about them, and they're still touring to this day. Yep. So yeah. Yeah. See if I can hear what this song is. Oh, this is Del Bosio and Missing Persons. If you can hear it. And that's who Lady Gaga has based her looks and her joie de vivre on, is Del Bosio for Missing Persons. And I think she kind of missed the mark, really. You know? So, yeah. Yeah. Yep, exactly. What are the words for? Yep. This one's the one that's playing right now is Destination Unknown. Yep. So, yeah. I think Gaga's more of a Madonna fight than really a Del Bosio person. I did too. I love Missing Persons. I love The Police. Trying to think who else. Cheap Trick, even though they were really more big in the late 70s and early 80s. But yeah, my favorite out of Cheap Trick was not Robin Zanger, was Bunny Carlos. I loved him. I still love Bunny Carlos. Now, like I said, she's a poor imitation. It's kind of sad. I mean, her music's, really, is catchy. I mean, I don't know if she's the songwriter of her stuff. I don't follow her that close, but, it's got the right hook, it's got the right beat, the songwriting is tight, but no, I'm just not a big Gaga fan. Yeah, that's about it. The word they like to use now is misappropriation. So yeah, that she just kind of misappropriated a lot of things from a lot of people. I found out her parents, she's not quite a Nepo baby, but she got a leg up kind of like Taylor Swift. Her parents were well off. You know, she didn't, it, it wasn't like she had to work hard for it, like Jenny on the Block or anything like that. So, yeah. So, yeah. But no, some people have it easy. Oh, that was the other thing that I read this week. Um, Sean Lennon, which is Yoko and John's child, John's second son, he came out and was talking bad about the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, about his book Spare, and called him kind of a poser and was saying, defamatory things about him. Alrighty, well, I'll see you tomorrow probably at Family Feud. I hope you have a wonderful night. Much love, healing, light, and blessings. Mari, sweetest of dreams and rest well. Oh, I'm so sorry that you got to miss them. I never did see missing persons. I saw a lot of people. Yeah, I can't, you know, when I start naming names, people always laugh. How there, for a while they had that thing going around, you would list, you know, 9 bands that you saw in concert, and then you would lie about one. And the one I would always lie about was ZZ Top, and nobody ever got it. They always thought I saw ZZ Top, but they would think I didn't see Wayne Newton or Tom Jones or somebody like that, you know. But yeah, I saw Wayne Newton, I saw Tom Jones, Sean Cassidy. I saw a lot of people way back in the day, so it's kind of funny. So, yep. But no, Sean Sean Lennon really didn't have any way. You know, he's like there's the heir and the spare. He was the spare, And somebody, pointed that out to him that, there, like Prince Harry, you know, there's a lot of similarities. And Sean Lennon basically said, I won an Oscar. And the thing about it was, the only reason he won the Oscar is because he produced a documentary about his dad. That's it. So it's, he's a Nepo baby, you know. There's nothing wrong with it. Yes, Julian took after his dad 100%. Sean took after Yoko. He sings like Yoko. But then after that, I was thinking about it, and I remember Linda McCartney was in Wings, and she played with Paul while she was alive. She always either played keyboard or whatever. And it was just kind of like when she sang, it was like, they kind of kept her mic down lower because I've seen Paul McCartney in concert twice. And, oh, it was like nails on a chalkboard, you know. Yoko, out of the two, I would rather see Linda McCartney than Yoko, but still. So, yeah. Yeah. Like I've seen a lot of people. There's a few that I wished I had seen, like the original lineup of the Eagles. I wish I'd saw them, but from the time, you know, the late 80s on, they got really pricey, their tickets. Oh, making me laugh with the nails. Oh man. Have you ever listened to Yoko or Sean's albums? Oh, they're horrible. It's like nails on a chalkboard. It's like it's yeah. So I don't wish that on my worst enemy. And I'm not being judgmental. I'm just giving you an opinion of my opinion. And I read an article or a meme the other day. It says, um, lowbrow people have opinions, highbrow people have keep their thoughts to themselves. And I thought about it and thought about it, and I'm like, I kind of like that. So yeah, I thought that was funny. I do have an opinion about a lot of things, but I don't voice my opinion a lot. Most of the time I kind of keep it to myself. So yeah. So yeah. I'm kind of glad that Ringo's wives, because he married and he married well, and and George Harrison's wives didn't want to be singers. At least two out of the four people out of the Beatles, their wives, stayed in their own lane, basically. Okay. So UFO and Aldo Nova. I never saw Aldo Nova, but I like their stuff. So yeah. Yeah. And I really don't have a favorite Beatle. I mean, I saw, like I said, I saw Paul McCartney twice, and you know, he alone, he's okay, but it's not like, a be all end all type thing, you know. But like my brother-in-law and my brother, they went and saw Ringo Starr, and let's face it, Ringo's kind of like the Cheech and Chong of the Beatles, you know. He did the funny songs, you know. No, 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 I don't do that smoke that anymore, those kind of songs. He did that one with Buck Owens, at least you know, he knew how to poke fun at himself and make money at it. He was like the comedian of the group. So yeah. Ooh, I do love ELO. Yep, I do. I have a couple of I have I have the albums, I have the CDs, and then I have the soundtrack to Xanadu, and they have like two or three songs in Xanadu. I love that soundtrack. I love that movie. I watch it every year or two, you know. Oh, Pink Pill Crafts is on. So, yeah. So I was talking about Stacy and Jamie, they're on. So, yeah. Yep, I love Xanadu. It's one of my favorite movies. I have to see it at least once a year. It's got Gene Kelly in it. And I never knew until after he died. They said he was just the worst person to work with. They said he was the taskmaster from heck, you know. Donald O'Connor, he hurt his back, and I think it was Singing in the Rain or American in Paris, because he does that run up the wall and does the backflip. He had to do it over and over and over because it wasn't, just picture perfect for Gene Kelly, and he messed up his back. Yeah. Oh yeah, Xanadu. Yeah, it's a hard to find movie. I have it on DVD, and I think I either got it through streaming through YouTube or Voodoo, one of the two. Oh, Dogma. I think I have a burned copy of it. Yeah. My my ex roommate loved Dogma. It was one of his favorite movies. Yeah. Um, I don't know where the burned copy. I don't know where he found it. I really, really don't. But no, I do. Like I said, I have it on DVD. I have Xanadu on DVD, and I think I got it. It was either on Vudu or on YouTube. You you bought it. Like the download. I have it, and I have Don't Mess with Zohan and Secondhand Lions and Pure Country and a couple others on there. It was just kind of one of those. I couldn't find it and I needed to see it right then, so I just threw the, 8, 10, 12, 14 bucks, whatever it is, out the window and download and have it. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I have very eclectic tastes. I'm all over the map, you know. with eclectic tastes. And another movie that I like to see like once a year or once every 2 years is Yellow Submarine and The Lost Unicorn. That was another one that I loved to watch. Yeah. The only thing I don't like listening to is jazz and new age, like Zamfir and that kind of stuff. It just winds me up. I guess that's why I never could do yoga because that's all they play is that kind of music, and it would just drive me up the wall. I'm trying to think what else. I have to watch every couple. I have to watch at least once a year. Oh, Monty Python, The Holy Grail. You have to see at least once a year. The new hip hop, some of it I like, but it's like what I call the TikTok hip hop, the that kind of stuff. I have one on my TikTok. Um, it's 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 a hip hop star. I don't even remember what his name is off the top of my head. It's he's rapping about don't be a Karen, and that song just makes me laugh. And I did a TikTok with a filter that kind of gave you that, that 8+8 haircut, Karen haircut, you know. So yeah, it's out there somewhere if you want to find it. My TikTok is stuck in Minnesota. Oops, I didn't want the tilde over it. Yeah, yeah, I like Tupac, Dr. Dre, LL Cool J. I can see them. I can't think what their name was off the top of my head. Swash. Um, Going back to Cali, that's LL Cool J. Um, I hate when my mind goes blank. You know. Yeah, I listened to some of the '90s stuff. You know, there's like a few bands that I really liked in the '90s. Matchbox 20 is one of them. Um, and they got a new album out. They were at the Coca-Cola 600 and they were playing it, and I don't know, there's something about it was just good, you know. So Coca-Cola, water, wings, panda bears. So yeah, one more. Yeah, I like Third Eye Blind, but you know who? I know it'll make most people go, really? Blues Traveler. I don't know what it was about them. I loved them. My husband, it used to drive him to drink, but he liked more of the blues side from that was in the 90s and the 2000s. Like Kenny Wayne Shepherd and you know Stevie Ray Vaughan and that kind of stuff. And I mean I listen to it. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, but I loved Blues Traveler. Oh yeah, Hootie and the Blowfish. I had a friend that I went to high school with. Her youngest, she called him Bluty and the Hoe Fish. So I don't think of him as Hootie and the Blowfish. I think of him as Bluty and the Hoe Fish. So yeah. What's funny now is Shiloh has she has kids now. Yeah. I just can't believe it. Yeah. So yep. Bluty and the Hoe Fish. Like I listen to everything. I even listen to like the old country, you know. Kind of like they said in Blues Brothers. We have both kinds, country and western. But to me, western was more like Buck Owens, the Bakerfield sound, you know. But I just listen to everything. I'm not really one of those people that doesn't just listen to just one thing, you know. Okay. I'm up to Coca Cola now. Yay! I'm getting closer to the end. Considering tomorrow starts a new week. So, yeah. And it's Disney and music. Oh, yeah. Yep. George Jones and the Outlaw Country. Oh, yeah. George Jones, Waylon Jennings, Merle Haggard, Johnny Cash, Willie, Jesse Coulter. I'm forgetting somebody, but I don't remember who. I don't know who I'm forgetting. I don't know who I'm forgetting. So yeah. Yeah. Yep. Haggard, Nelson, and Cash. Yeah. And Waylon Jennings. And Waylon Jennings, he he was like one of the band members with um I hate when my mind goes blank. Um Betty Holly and the Crickets. He was like the fourth cricket, you know. And he was supposed to be on that plane, the one that crashed up there in Ames, Iowa, or not Ames, Clearfield Lake. Yeah. And he always felt guilty. He had that survivor's guilt because of it. My late husband, he went. he went to that place. He was just like in the area killing time, and he got to go through there and go to that place that they played that night. He said it was surreal. It's about 3 or 4 hours from here. So yeah. So yeah. Yeah, Merle. That's the thing about it. A lot of them, Merle and the hag, Possum, you know, they were, hardcore on the drinking. Waylon was to a certain degree, but not as much as the rest of them, you know, but Mer- Merle had it really hard growing up. They said he was in that. It might have been Waylon Jennings. Merle had it really hard in his life. Um, he was in that boys' home there in California, that infamous one where everybody pretty much died. He was there, and I'm trying to remember what they said. How many times he broke out and ran away, and they would just drag him back, and then finally they just gave up on him. Yeah. Yeah, I can't think what the name of the. It was it looked like a castle was the building. I don't remember what it's called. They say it's supposedly haunted. I don't know. Um, and Merle Haggard had a love of trains. He used to like do the hobo thing. He would catch a train and ride it places. Yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting. They had a natural love of trains. Yeah. Um, One of my late husband's friends actually met him right before he got too sick. That last when he was, he had cancer. He did that last tour. He met him while he was still touring. Um, this he had some drums for sale on like Facebook Marketplace or whatever, and the drummer that was drumming for him, they literally stopped there in Abilene, Texas, and bought the drums from Richard, and he got to meet them all. Said it was surreal. And Richard's, this, dyed in the wool hippie, he didn't know who it was until, they're like, yeah, I sold my drum kit, my spare drum kit, blah 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 blah. And he goes, there's a guy that plays in a country band, and he goes, I'd never heard of the guy. His name was Haggard or Higgard or something. Yeah, yeah, yep, yep. Prince, Prince is Prince was, from the stories I've heard of people up here talking about him since I've lived up here. You know, he was just different. You know, they would say that it was nothing for him to drop $50,000 if somebody needed it, but you know they would say that he would just not show up to things. You know, And I don't know if you're a big Prince fan or anything, but his house is up in the northeast Minneapolis here, and in August it's going to be an Airbnb. And I don't know if you know the two girls that was in his band, um, Wendy and Lisa. They're the Airbnb hosts. Yeah, well, you have to realize Prince to me was like the Jimi Hendrix of our generation, you know. Jimmy, everything he touched turned to gold. Everything Prince touched turned to gold, you know. Jimmy, yeah, there were geniuses, and the other genius from the '60s was, to me, was Jim Morrison from The Doors. He was very reclusive, you know. Yeah, you know. And like I said, my husband was really big into Stevie Ray Vaughan. And that was back when everybody was, burning discs, Napster and all that stuff. And I was actually pulling them, the CDs off because somebody had broken his truck and stolen all the CDs, so we had to start replacing them again. So I was burning them and putting them into Windows Media Player, and then I would burn a copy, and he would take it back out on the road. And he had Jimi Hendrix, you know, um, all along the Watchtower, which Bob Dylan wrote. And it's about a tower here in the cities. There's two of them, but the one he's talking about, they call it the Witch's Hat. And you can see it from that bridge that collapsed back in, the 2000 teens here. Um, but they both did it. Him, Stevie Ray Vaughan did it, and Jimi Hendrix did a version of it. And if you played them both side by side, they were literally note for note, you know? Yeah. Um, Bob Dylan to me is just a weirdo. I'm sorry. I've never really been a big Bob Dylan fan. My husband loved him, I mean, yeah, he was a hometown boy, made good. Robert Zimmerman. He was from St. Louis Park, where my husband grew up. He didn't really grow up there. They moved there when he was in middle school, and he went to middle school and high school there. So yeah. So his sister pretty much grew up in St. Louis Park. So yeah. So yeah. And Al Franken was from St. Louis Park too. So yeah. Yeah. He really was. He's just a weirdo. I know. That's ugly of me to say. He's just a weirdo. But what was sad, my husband, he'd never been to a concert until he turned 50. And he got to see the movie Blues. He ended up seeing him like 4 times, you know. And after that, I started dragging him to see like the Texas country, like what they call red dirt road kind of country. I was dragging him to see them. Yeah. He really enjoyed it. So, yeah. But no, like I said, I know a little bit about music, not enough to blow the nose off my face, but I'm not like my husband or my brother. They knew everything about. They were like walking liner notes, you know. Oh, I've seen them 9 times, Michelle. Yeah, my sister-in-law, she's like the iconic Moody Blues fan. The first time she saw him was in 1968. She saw, uh, it was her third concert she'd ever saw. She didn't get to go see the Beatles, but she went and saw the Rolling Stones. Yeah, she got to see Keith Moon. Isn't that cool? She saw Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, Wildest Dreams. Yeah. Um. Yep. And I always tease her and say she's like a walking, uh, hall of rock and roll of people who she's seen. She saw the Who. She saw Herman's Hermits. I saw part of Herman's Hermits back in the 80s. Yeah. Trying to think who else she saw off the top of my head. She was a real big Linda Ronstadt. She saw them many times. Um, there was a lady I worked with at my old site. Um, she started going to see the Stones in the late 70s. And she's like a big Mick Jagger fan. And I would find pictures on the internet that nobody's ever seen, that somebody would have found somewhere and they've uploaded them. And I would make sure and print out a really, really good copy and go to, Walmart or Michael's and get a nice but cheap frame and frame it for her and leave it on her desk. Yeah, she is. And, you know, and what's weird about Linda Ronstadt was she was the reason the Eagles kind of got together. They were like her backing group before the Stone Ponies. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I know a little bit about music. You know, I love Tucson. The C is silent, but I always call it Texan just to be funny. So yeah, but she loved she loved Linda Ronstadt, and she saw them half a dozen times. They went and saw ZZ Top. They trying to think who else they saw. They saw Stevie Ray Vaughan, and I can't think of everybody they saw. It's mind-boggling. Like I said, she's like a walking hall of rock and roll hall of fame. You know, I wish I had a solid black washi. I might can just do some kind of weird one. I bet they did. Everybody had property there, you know, at one time. Yeah, Queen was another. It's kind of one of the ones I would have loved to sing too. You know, the Doors. Oh, she got to see the Doors as well. Jim Morrison. She saw Jefferson Airplane. Um, she saw Chicago back when they were Transit Authority before they kept changing their name. You know, um, and one of the guys that that was in the band back then, she went to high school with him. I can't think of what his name was. I want to say Denny something or other. Yeah. Yeah, Roger kind of sounds like my sister-in-law. Yeah, he saw everybody, you know. I mean, I got to see a lot of people, but mine's more eclectic and strange. Like I saw Billy Idol, you know, and I saw The Fix. Trying to think who else New Wave I saw. I think that's the only two off the top of my head that I saw. But I mean, I saw a lot of people like in the early 90s. I saw Richard Marx. I saw John Schneider, the Dukes of Hazzard guy. Yeah. I never did get to see Cheap Trick. I would have loved to seen them. I did get to see Blondie, but it was Debbie Harry. It wasn't, I think her husband Chris had died by then. I saw them at the state fair. Um, I think who else I've seen. But I would love to seen Cheap Trick. Yeah, that would have been one I would love because I loved Benny Carlos. He was one of my, you know, how like they always you had your list of your favorites. He was one of my favorites. Him, Clem Burke from Blondie. Who else? Roger Taylor from Duran Duran. Uh, Stuart from The Police. And who else? Oh, Adam Ant. That was my other one. I never did see Bret Michaels, Ted Nugent, or Aerosmith. I don't know if Lynn and them saw Sweaty Teddy or not. I know my brother saw a lot of people that she didn't, but I'm not as familiar with who he saw. Um, I'm still trying to think if I'm missing anybody. Ooh, I bet that would have been good because I loved Missing Persons. Not Missing Persons. Bad English and John Wayne because that's who was the damn Yankees. Yeah, I love John Wayne. I ain't missing you. Yeah, so yeah. Oh, that would have been really good. Night Ranger was another one I would have liked to have seen. Bad Company, I could have probably would have liked to seen them as well. I saw a lot of the '60s people when they were doing when everybody was, in the '80s when everybody was starting to start the reunion tours. I saw a lot of them, like the Grassroots and people like that. You know, I saw the Monkeys. Oh, the Babies. That's who it was. Yeah, Bad English, the Babies. Yeah, that's who I was trying to think of was the Babies. Yeah, yeah. He was another one. He was kind of like Eric Clapton. He was in way too many, like Derek and the Dominoes and all those. Yeah. So yep, yep, yep. And Cream. Cream would have been another one that would have been great to see. Yeah. Well, that's cool. You got to see Sweaty Teddy twice. I think I don't know. I think they saw him for sure. I know they went and saw ZZ Top. That was one of the ones my brother wanted to see so bad, and he got to see him before he passed. So that was one of his like bucket list people. So yeah, yeah. And I didn't really touch on all the ones I saw. Like saw Sean Cassidy, um, Roy Clark, um, Reba McEntire, Dwight Yoakam, um, a very, 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 very young um, Leanne Rhymes. Uh, um, some other people that you might not know off the top, but like other country singers you might not know off the top of your head. Radney Foster. Ooh, that would have been a great one to see is Marshall Tucker. My brother, that was kind of one of my other brother. He was like a parrot head. He liked Marshall Tucker. He liked those kind of people, you know. Coca Cola, Sweet 19. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Trying to think who else. Um, Besides Radney Foster, there was somebody else in there. Oh, not Joe, not Joe Stanley. What's the guy's name? I can see him. Mo Bandy. I saw him. He was like '70s country. Him, him and Mo and Joe. You know, it's a cheating situation. I can't remember the rest of the song. Something, something, invitation. Yeah. Yeah, I like the smaller venues. They're really cool. I went and saw this guy that he's TikTok famous. He does country on TikTok. His name is Cooper Allen, Alan. If you're on TikTok, look him up. He does some really good songs. He writes his own stuff. He produces it. He directs his own videos. He books his own tours. He's making bank without having to play their games. Yeah. They actually saw Fleetwood Mac, but it was before Stevie Nicks was in the band. My brother and sister-in-law. Yeah. So yeah. Um, I don't think anybody saw Pink Floyd. My husband loved Pink Floyd, and we went and saw one of those tribute bands. I had never wanted to you know take something and shove it in my ears so badly. You know, some tribute bands are just ugh. They were that Pink Floyd tribute band was horrific. You know, and I've seen a couple other tribute bands. One was the Beatles tribute band. We used to go see them almost monthly. They were called Me and My Monkey. They were hysterically funny. I'm trying to think what other tribute band we went and saw. There was another one. I just don't remember off the top of my head. Um, up to water. Yep, I'm up to water. Yay. Yeah, yeah. Well, you have to realize, my brother and sister-in-law, they were so much older than me. They got married when I was 3 years old. So, you know. So she's almost a sister to me, like my sister. Yeah, because she's been in my life since I was 3. You know. So yeah. So yeah. 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 She lived a really cool life, for someone who grew up in a town of, a couple, like 10,000 people, before she met my brother. They were both working at Sears of all places. My brother worked in the coffee shop. I don't know if you remember how they had the candy. Yeah, she is. Yep. Yep. They had the coffee shops in the Sears. That's where my brother worked, and she worked in fine hosiery. So yeah, that's how they met and started dating. Yeah. The other genre of music I like, and I do play on occasion here when the neighbors irritate the living crap out of me, is bagpipe rock. I don't know if you've ever heard of any of them. There's like two or three bands out there that do it. One, I used to go see at the Ren Fair down in Texas. They're called Tartanic, Tartanic. And the other one, I know people don't understand how you could listen to Adam Ant and and like Hazy Fantasy, if you ever knew that band, you know. There, I mean, it's not like, there's you have to be in one camp or the other, you know what I mean? And Hazy Fantasy was kind of like, they were what they called fashion rock. They were out there with Culture Club. You remember that? It was Culture Club. It was Thomas Dolby. It was Devo. Yeah. But no, you remember they had that fashion rock. Even David Bowie was doing it. Remember there was Culture Club, Hazy Fantasy, Dexy's Midnight Runners, um, uh, Thomas Dolby, Adam Ant, everybody dressed, the craziness. Yeah, you know, they just couldn't understand how you could listen to that kind of music and then turn around and listen to, George Strait or something like that. They just couldn't get the dichotomy of it all. And I'm like, you don't have to just buy into one sound, you know. Oh yes. Oh, that was another person I wished I had seen, was David Bowie. I loved all his incarnations, Ziggy Stardust, all of them. Yeah. Oh yes, the waitresses. Yep, yep, yep. That's one of the songs I have to hear for Christmas, or it's not Christmas. You know, the Go Go's. Yes, and Christmas wrapping by the waitresses. Yeah, if I don't hear it, it's not Christmas. You know what I mean? So yeah, I have to hear it and Hard Candy Christmas. Those are the two songs. The one by Dolly Parton. I have to hear both of those songs, or it's not Christmas to me. Yeah, the Go Go's Tina Weymouth. She was in it with her husband. They did a. He was in the Talking Heads, and they did that one song with that one band, and I can't think of what it is off the top of my head, but I loved it. You know, can't remember the name of that group. I can hear the song in my head. Yeah, yeah, I can't forget Oingo Boingo and Fred Schneider and the B-52s and Talking Heads and yeah, Danny Elfman and Oingo Boingo. Sorry, I forgot Danny's name. Danny's big now. It's like he does all the soundtracks for all of um, Tim Burton's movies. That's what he does now. It seems like. It's like they're thick as thieves or something. So yeah, yep, yep, yeah. There's not too many people out there that, like Amy's the same way. She knows all this music. She knew who Hazy Fantasy was. I was shocked that she knew Hazy Fantasy. I thought I was me and my friend that I went to middle school with. We thought we were the only people that liked them. You know, everybody else was like, Dexy's Midnight Runners and all them, but no, I was a big Hazy Fantasy. They were just so funny. She had the Rasta dreads, and they were the fake ones, the one where they it, it started with her hair, but she put the the fake dreads in it too with the colors, like with the where you make the fake dreads with the I hate when I can't talk, acrylic yarn. Yeah. You remember that? Yeah. So yeah. So I have to listen to some Hazy Fantasy tonight or tomorrow. And sometimes I play it kind of like the what they did to poor Noriega with Panama by Van Halen, where they played it over and over and over. Sometimes I do that with Hazy Fantasy to kind of give people the earwig and drive them crazy. Yeah, the rags and the dreads. Yeah. People didn't know about that stuff. It just, I was just like tripped out, you know. Speak of the devil, they're playing Love Shack right now. And did you ever hear that song by Fred Schneider when he did it by himself? It was called I Got a Monster in My Pants and It Does a Naughty Dance. It I never heard it on the radio because it was so dirty. Um, but they played the video every once in a while on MTV, and you can find it on YouTube. It was the funniest song. It wasn't like Dr. Demento funny, but it was funny. Yeah. I got a monster in my pants and it does a naughty dance. And you hear these three girls in the back going, monsters, monsters. It was hysterical. Yeah, I know. So, yep, yep. I love this. I love that song. Sometimes I play it as an earwig to drive people crazy. It's up there with the song from Sesame Street. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Oh, did you know they have podcasts of Dr. Demento? There's a Facebook Um, there's a Facebook group about Dr. Demento, and they post when they do the podcasts, and you can listen to the old ones and stuff. Yeah, yeah. Oh, when you say bow, it makes me think of Bow Wow Wow and the Wall of Voodoo. You remember them? Yeah, you'll have to look it up. And they talk about songs that like songs that were like local to their area that we never heard of. There was one that was in Dallas Fort Worth that Dr. It got picked up on Dr. Demento, but I'd never heard it anywhere else. It was called Bobby, Jimmy, and the Critters, and it was called Hair or Weave. It was from like the 90s, and he was a DJ on K104, and it was so funny. It was almost kind of like a Weird Al type thing, but he actually wrote the music and the lyrics and everything. Yeah. So yeah. Yep. Mexican radio. Yep. Yep. Isn't that funny? Yep. Wall of Voodoo. I'm on a Mexican radio. Whoa. Yep. I remember it. Remember it well. So yeah. But you'll have to look if you're a big Dr. Demento fan, you'll have to look up that group. It's so funny. And they'll post like videos that on YouTube, you know, talking about these, like local songs and stuff that I'd never even heard on Dr. Demento. Yeah. There's a lot of people out there that, they forgot more of this stuff than we know, you know. So yep. So and there's a guy that I watch occasionally on YouTube. He 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 just does like pop music. It's not like, new wave or anything. I'll have to look him up. I don't remember what it is, but he goes in and he finds these people and he talks about the song and what transpired and stuff. Yeah. I can't remember the name of the channel, but it's so good. So yeah, I'm trying to think uh, if I have any more music that's just kind of off the wall that nobody else listened to. Oh, in sixth grade there was this song. It was just like it was Peaches and Herb. They were big in the 70s, but they had done that one song like that was like 80 81. It was Reunited and it feels so good. I think I wore out at least one cassette tape of that song. Yeah. But I mean, I was listening to Cheap Trick and everybody else, and um, the Cars, Gary Newman, in that time frame. But I just loved that one song by Peaches and Herb. I don't know why. I guess every once in a while, the R&B just hits you upside the head. and then a couple years later, Shaka Khan came out with her song, you know, Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan. Yeah, shake your groove thing, baby. Yep, yep. But yeah, like I said, I listen I listen to music. I mean, that was back. All I did was I read books and listened to music in those years. And I did all the things that everybody talks about where you were hoping the DJ didn't talk over the song when you're trying to record it off the radio to make a mixtape to give to your crush to leave in his locker or whatever. Yeah. Uh, you know. So, okay, I did water. Now I'm up to angels. I printed this picture out. This is what water looks like under a salt water looks like under a microscope. I just thought it was beautiful. But here's my week 20 water one. I did that instead because this would have freaked people out. They wouldn't have understood what it was. So, I don't remember that song. Like I said, I wasn't a big Fleetwood Mac like my brother and sister-in-law, but I did know some of their music. And like I said, my late husband, he liked Fleetwood Mac before um, Stevie came along. My brother and them saw him before Stevie came along. That was their kind of one of their bonding things was music, and they both liked NHRA, drag racing. They talked about it. My brother couldn't stand NASCAR. He called it roundy rounds. He goes, I don't understand roundy rounds, you know. But he would go the dirt late model track with my husband when nobody else would go if I was working back in the 90s and early 2000s. So yeah, it he went with him a couple times. When yeah, I know, I know. Like I said, I'm not a big. I like Fleetwood Mac, you know, and I like Stevie Nicks, but like I'm saying, I wasn't a bigger fan than some people. I mean, there's a lot of people out there. I know there's a movie, I think it was called Gypsy, where these two girls, you know, that was their whole thing is they wanted to get backstage and, you know, hang out with, you know, Stevie Nicks. Oh no, I got 50% on this one. I'm using my phone as a camera and it's right at 100 because I have it plugged in. So yeah, I always keep it plugged in because of that. So yeah. How long have we been on? Does, how does she look at that and see that? Oh, 3 hours ago. We've been on 3 hours. That's funny. Yeah. Hang on, let me Google it and I'll tell you what if it I think it was called Gypsy, if I remember correctly. I watched it once. It was a really interesting movie. It's one of those one things you just kind of gotta go see. Oh, it's called Gypsy 83. I knew it was Gypsy. It was Gypsy 83. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll let you go, my dear, if you need to go plug your phone in the charger. Yeah. You can always add me on Facebook. I'm the same name here as I'm on Facebook. I have two accounts. Either one you can catch me on. One is on my tablet, one is on my phone. The one on my phone is a little bit different. So look me up. You can always find me. We always can chat on Messenger, if you're bored. Like I said, I don't do much. Like lather, reach, repeat, work and home. That's all I do. So yeah, there's that movie Gypsy 83. Maybe it's streaming somewhere. You can probably find it. I have no clue. I hadn't thought of it in a while, but yeah, I still have. I gotta do this one and my panda bears, and I'll be caught up. So yeah, you don't have Facebook? Okay. Well, um, this account is my first name, last name at Gmail. You can always email me too. You know. So, and it's hooked up on both my tablet and my phone. Alrighty. Alrighty. It was so great to see you, Shaw. I hadn't seen you in so long. Like I said, it's probably been 8 or 9 months for sure. You know, it might be close to a year because I think the last time I saw you, you were in a cell with everybody. It was you and Chris and somebody else. Um, yeah, and I'd bought a couple things. Yeah. So yeah, it's probably been about a year. Yeah. Well, I'll just go ahead and end the live. Yeah. Yeah, I bought some earrings from you. Yeah, they were. Yeah, it's Carla Farrington at gmail.com. I don't care who knows. If anybody watches this on the replay, you can catch me over there. There's no dots. There's nothing in there. It's just carlafarrington@gmail.com. Yeah. So if you need me, you can always email me. Love y'all. And like I always say, much love, healing, light, and blessings to you all, my crafting tribe. Have a beautiful week ahead. We're in the first week of June, and I think December's going to be crazy, but crazy good because we're going to look at it that way. Love y'all. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Until I see you again somewhere.